What is up, Pete Sweeney here. We are your Emerald Coast relocation experts. In this video right here, we're going to be covering the cost of living in Destin, Florida. Let's go. Quick note before diving into Destin is so many times that Miramar Beach is kind of grouped into Destin. Now Miramar isn't technically a part of Destin. They like to kind of be considered some portions to be Destin because of the name recognition that Destin has. But we're talking about the Destin area. And so these numbers, it's going to cut off at that county line between Walton County and Okaloosa County. We're not going to really go over Miramar. I'll go over Miramar housing price a little bit just so you can see the comparison, because Miramar is a little bit more the affluent area. So I'll cover some house prices over there as compared to Destin. But let's go ahead and dive in. What we're looking at, if you're looking at it overall, what we like to do is the cost of living index, where 100 is your national average. If it's above that, obviously it's more expensive than your national average. If it's below that, then it's cheaper than your national average. And what we're looking at when we're talking about Destin, we're talking about a 120.1. So obviously more expensive than your national average, even more expensive than Florida, where Florida comes in at a 103.1. So more expensive than the rest of Florida in regards to your cost of living. Before I hit on the second topic, guys, make sure you stick around till the end of this video, because we are going to be talking about the real estate, which I'm sure is the majority of why you're watching this video. You want to know, hey, how much is it going to cost if I decide to buy a house in Destin, Florida? All right, so let's go and break into the second one. We're going to be talking about groceries. Groceries, if you're looking at the cost of living index, it's at a 105.3 in Destin as compared to Florida, which is at a 103.8. So a little bit more expensive than your national average. Also a little bit more expensive than Florida as a whole. I'm going to tell you from our experience personally, anytime you have to cross a bridge or go outside of the mainland a little bit, your groceries are going to be a little bit more expensive in all these cities. And whenever we're talking about Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, it just seems like groceries are a little bit more expensive as you kind of pass that Bay Area, right? So I don't know if it's transport or what to get the groceries over there. It just seems like groceries are a little bit more expensive when you're not on the mainland. Next, we're going to be talking about is health, which is your health care, the cost to visit the dentist, the cost to visit the doctors. You're looking at a cost of living index of 104.3. Where's Florida at in that whole scenario? Florida, all as a whole, is a 102.3, so a little bit more expensive than your national average, and also a little bit more expensive than the state of Florida. All right, you made it to the meat and potatoes. This is the one that you're waiting for. You're waiting for that housing, right? What does it look like when you're purchasing a house in Destin? And before I break into that, guys, if you are enjoying this content, can you do us a huge favor? Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, maybe give us a thumbs up if you really do like this video. Also, we are your licensed real estate experts, helping you out with your relocation to the Emerald Coast. If you could do us a favor, if you are planning to purchase real estate, give us a call or text, and the phone number right below. Give us a call or text. We're answering, doesn't matter date or time. All right, let's go and break into that housing. What we're looking at on the cost of living index. So this cost of living index actually incorporates renting and also purchasing. You're looking at a 168.1. This is by far the most expensive city in the Emerald Coast. Okay. The most expensive city that we cover in the Emerald Coast. If you go over to Miramar, that one's gonna be more expensive, and I'll break into just some quick numbers on that one as well too. If you are looking at purchasing a house in Destin, overall we're talking about your attached and your detached products lumped into one sum. You're looking at a median sales price of $590,000, okay? Again, so much more expensive than a lot of these other cities that we cover. Now let's go and go over to Miramar Beach, just for the heck of it. Be like, all right, so that's where Destin is. What does Miramar Beach kind of look like? Miramar Beach median sales price as of February of 2023 is $791,000. So that's about $200,000, a little bit more than $200,000 more expensive than purchasing a property in Destin. Now here's where we're going to break into the numbers, and this is a little interesting to me. I think I have a good idea why this is. Well, let's go and break in. So if you're planning on purchasing a single family house in Destin, what you're looking at is a median sales price of $525,000. Now here's another interesting fact. Over the last year, so year over year, we're comparing 2022 to 2023, that is down almost 18%. Crazy, right? Now let's go and break into your attached. We're talking about your condos, townhouses, row homes, that style of living. Your median sales price on those ones is $620,000, so much more expensive than your single family. This is not typical, guys. I've been in real estate since 2007. Typically, your single family homes are always more expensive. You do have a few instances in those touristy towns where, yeah, the attached might be a little bit more expensive than your detached, and that's what we're seeing right here. What does that look like year over year? How much is it up from 2022 to 2023? It is actually up 36.4%. So we're looking at where the single family is down and your multifamily is up. Crazy to think, right? Here's kind of what I'm experiencing, kind of what I just like driving around, what I'm seeing is I think that a lot of these single family products are getting torn down. And then you have developers who are throwing up more of that row home style house. Because guess what? If you buy, say, one parcel of land that had a single family house on it, and you can put a duplex or maybe even a tri or some type of townhouses instead, you get more money for it. So that's kind of what I'm saying. This is actually what we always saw in Denver as well too, where you saw a lot of developers that were tearing down a lot of these older homes in upper Denver. They tear down a single family house and put up a duplex. So it's just, more cost effective for the developers. It's like I can make more money if I throw 2 products that I can sell instead of just the single one. All right, we're coasting. We're going to go on to the next one. We're going to be talking about those utilities. What we're looking at for the cost of living index on utilities, you're looking at a 103.4 in Destin as compared to Florida, which is a 101.1. So a little bit more expensive than both your national average, and a little bit more expensive than Florida on utilities. Utilities, what we're talking about is pretty much to kind of base this up, it's the cost to heat and cool your home. The next topic we're going to be talking about is your transportation cost of living index. What are we looking at in Destin? It is a 93.3, so it's lower than your national average. Also, it's lower than Florida, where Florida comes in at a 112.6. Why is that? So I can tell you right now, so they used to have the Okaloosa County Transit or something like that. They recently changed the name to the EC Rider, which is like your Emerald Coast Rider. I believe that's what it's called. I'm trying to put this all together here. But yeah, so it's like they have a great product down there. Think about it. You have a lot of tourists that kind of in the area. You probably have a lot of these resorts that do kind of help. It's like, yeah, we're not directly on the beach, but we'll make sure that we give you that ride over to the beach. That might be a big reason why this is so much lower, but you still are going to want a car in Destin. I would highly recommend it and not heavily relying on the public transit, not having to rely on a bus and sitting at the bus stop. I mean, who likes to wait at the bus stop? I like to get in and go. The final cost of living that we're going to be going over is your miscellaneous. So we're talking about your shopping, your eating out, all those things like that. In Destin, this actually makes a little bit of sense, right? It's a little bit of a hot spot, the little ritzy, I guess. You got your little boutiques and such out there. So if you're looking at your miscellaneous, you're looking at a 106.3, so more expensive than the national average, also more expensive than Florida, which comes in at 87.6. And like I said, I mean, if you have a little bit more ritzy shops, some nicer restaurants, a lot of small business owners, they charge a little bit more than, say, your McDonald's or stuff like that, which, I mean, who doesn't want some amazing food by a small business owner who takes pride in what they cook? It might be a little bit more expensive, but definitely worth the cost. All right, there you go, guys. I brought you the cost of living of Destin, Florida. Give me a comment. Let me know whether you think it's worse or better than what you initially thought, not knowing about Destin whatsoever. If you do us a huge favor, guys, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We do all these videos for you. We make sure we give you all the content. If there is some content that you would like us to cover, comment down below as well, too. We always take your comments into considerations for future titles, future videos that we are doing. Also, if you are planning on relocating into the Emerald Coast, we're talking Destin all the way over to Pensacola, give us a call or text. The phone number right below, right there. Give us a call to text. Doesn't matter day or time. Until next time, we love you. Bye.